Hi guys, how are you? This is Christian Canard speaking. I'm Professor of International Security at Dublin City University. I'm taking over because unfortunately Dermot had technical problems and wasn't actually able to get live on stream with you. So there you have me. I hope that you can all hear me and see me. And if I can get some sort of reaction, then I will know that everything is fine. Otherwise, now it's 1:15. Perfect. Yes. Thank you, Katrina. So perfect. I'm going to share my screen in a moment. So let me see if you can see my shared screen. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I can hear and see you. Can you see my PowerPoint presentation? No. No, this doesn't seem to work. Okay, so yeah, now you can see my screen. Perfect. And now I'm just going to go on the PowerPoint. There you go. So now you should be able to see this. Okay. Now, welcome. So this is for the IMSIS program. I'm Professor Christian Gannett. I'm in the School of Law and Government at DCU. Here you see some pictures. I'm delighted to speak to you today on the IMSIS program. This, just to give you a little outline, obviously you might be DCU students already and you certainly know about DCU, but it's been the University of the Year, now ranked in the top 200 universities in the world for arts and humanities. It's ranked in the top 250 universities in the world for social sciences. And also it was very, very high in the Good Universities Guide University of the Year. Now, who am I? I'm the DCU chair of the IMSIS program here at DCU. I'm also a professor of international security. My work is very much on the European Union, on international relations, international security in particular, on counterterrorism, but also policing and intelligence. I'm also leading the Jean Monnet network on EU counterterrorism, which you're welcome to have a look online, eucter.net. And also I work on refugees, migration, and border security as well. Now, what's the School of Law and Government all about? We're a young research-intensive university. We have a lot of very important research specialties in the area of terrorism, political violence. We have very important projects in the area, like the Voxpol project that I'll talk to a little bit about. We also have specializations in the area of politics of the Middle East, in North Africa, on democratization, international relations, security studies. In a QS ranking, we're in 151-200 bracket, 19th position in the world for graduate employment rate, a variety of different undergraduate programs. I suspect that some of you are already on the undergraduate programs, BA in international relations, BA in economics, politics, and law, BCL in law and society, and also the BA in joint honors degrees. Now, just to give you a little background to the program, very, very broadly, what is security in international relations? In a way, this might be one of the questions that you're asking yourself if you're interested in this particular program. Traditionally, security has been seen as something of broadening of what had been the case previously in the discipline. Of course, strategy tended to be used primarily before in the 1990s, and before the 1990s, especially with the end of the Cold War, this concept had been broadened out. Security has been seen as a much, much broader framework than strategy used to be traditionally. Today's risks are much more multidimensional. There's obviously also the so-called security development nexus. Security is essential for development. Development essential to fight insecurities. We have insecurities all around the world that are also linked to economic development. So this is also something very important. And we have an increasing number of security challenges, not to speak obviously only of Russia and Russia's invasion in Ukraine. We also have long-term security challenges such as terrorism and nuclear proliferation. Nuclear proliferation also something that is going to increase significantly now with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Global warming, of course, here. Dermot would have told you a lot more about this. Health security, you've just seen the pandemic and the kind of security implication that has had. And of course, in general, the security implications that pandemics have had. Now, don't want to tell you too much about this, just a very brief overview of some of the work that I've been doing here in terms of security. Copenhagen School has been at the forefront of widening the security agenda to encompass 5 different sectors: the military, the political, the economic, the societal, and the environmental sector, and also in terms of broadening in terms of the security dynamics at different levels, whether that is at the sub-state level, the state level, or in fact, the international system. One of the works that I've written here is in terms of refugee security and the European Union, that came out together, co-authored with Professor Sarah Leonard, Routledge, 2019. You just see a picture of the European refugee crisis 2015 that has dealt very much with how security has broadened over the last couple of years. And increasingly, refugees and migrants have been perceived and constructed as a security threat in this kind of broadened security environment. And we see that, obviously, we will see very significant implications also with the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Just to give you a further outline of our programs, of course, in the School of Law and Government, we have a variety of different fantastic master's programs that I would all highly recommend for you to take. There's the International Master in Security, Intelligence, Strategic Studies that I'm presenting to you. There's obviously also the MA in International Security and Conflict Studies, International Relations, Public Policy, Climate Change, Law, European Law and Society, and Data Protection. We have significant amount of research institutes. Also, there's the Institute for International Conflict Resolution and Reconstruction. There's also the Brexit Institute that you might have come across. That is also Jean Monnet Center of Excellence. We have the Voxpol project here, an FP7 network of excellence for the study of violent online political extremism, the Ireland-India Institute, and a variety of different very important research environments and institutions. A variety of different events, inductions, workshops, football trips, research trips. My colleague has just taken the current cohort up to Northern Ireland. So we have a variety of different really exciting trips for our students. And of course, the program is something very, very special. It is a program that happens in a number of different countries. You are taking the beginnings of the program at the University of Glasgow, and you'll be spending that first semester there at the University of Glasgow in Scotland. Then once you've done that Scottish semester, so to speak, you will join us here at DCU, and here you have an outline of the different modules. I'm not going to read all of them, but the core module that you take when you come to DCU is really intelligence security analysis, theory and practice, and then you have a wide variety of different optional modules that you can take once you are here in DCU, from European law, Russia, conflict and security, terrorism, politics of the UN, politics and development in Africa, international development, EU foreign security policy, emerging issue and security, gender and security, politics of the Middle East, environmental change, war and peace, contemporary politics of Latin America, Chinese politics, policing and society, counterterrorism in Europe, the governance of migration in Europe, and religion, human values, and international relations. So there you have also a number of different clubs in society, sports and well-being, just to give you a little outline. And I'll end the slide on this particular note. Let me just go back and stop sharing. Okay, so now I've stopped sharing. Great. So now please feel free to ask me any questions that you have until we finish the session. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. I hope that the program is something that interests you. And in the meantime, I keep just talking as long as I don't see any questions. I'll just talk a little bit here and there, but hopefully we'll see some. Excuse me, what exactly is studies in intelligence classes? Is it connected to special forces like MI6? Well, obviously, the study of intelligence is very closely linked to the whole idea of security, right? Intelligence is about the information gathering and information use of material and information that is connected to security matters. So intelligence could be linked to war efforts. You will obviously see there's a lot of discussion when it comes to Russia and Ukraine about what intelligence information did the Russian security services collect, what did they gather sufficient evidence in terms of Ukraine, in terms of military targets, the same for the Ukrainian intelligence services. But this is only one aspect, of course, because intelligence is not only about war and that type of military understanding of security, but intelligence can be about other types of understanding of security also. It's always information. For instance, when I look at the area of refugees and refugee and migration information, very often the European Commission has been involved in developing intelligence on migration flows. So they would be looking, for instance, at geodata and so on. So there's a lot of different things. So thanks for the talk about the course. I wanted to ask what's the difference between this module and international security and conflict. Well, I'll let you talk. Well, I let Katrina obviously talk about the course in more detail, but just in terms of the outline of the IMSIS program is, of course, one where you spend time in at least 3 different countries. You spend time either in Scotland, then in Ireland, in DCU, and then you choose whether you, and then perhaps you'll go to the Czech Republic. So you'll be at least in 3 different countries if you choose that particular degree. Whereas if you take the master's degree that is only DCU, then you will be spending the entire time in DCU. Excuse me, do I understand correctly that under the IMSIS program students receive, indeed, you will receive several diplomas. You will obviously get one from the University of Glasgow, and also then you will also get one from DCU and then also from Prague, Charles University in Prague, where you will be spending the last semester. In good health, I have a genuine interest in DCU, but I don't have any ideas about the application process and scholarship to the international students. Okay, in terms of scholarships, what I would say is there's quite a number of scholarships for the IMSIS program, but for this year, the scholarship process is already closed. So I would recommend that you go on the website and you look at the precise details of how you apply for the scholarships, what the deadlines are, exactly what is necessary for your application. So we're in the middle of selecting for the particular scholarship at the moment. So I think if you're looking for scholarships, you'll be looking for the year after. Okay. If you have any more questions, I'm still available. Please feel free to ask me any more questions. Okay, there is, yeah, very good. There's a reply. I'm coming from a software engineering background. I plan to uptake an MSc in public policy in DCU. Just would like to ask whether the learning curve will be steep. Well, in general, I think if you're not coming from the exact area, so if you don't have a social science background, obviously there will be times that you might be struggling a little bit because you will need to familiarize with social science concept. You need to familiarize yourself with social science theories and the way in which obviously things are done in the social sciences that is different from engineering. But if you're a bright person, I'm sure you'll be able to catch up. So the IMSIS website says that in addition to the main courses, students can learn languages. Indeed, that depends on the particular offerings at the university that you choose or that you're spending time with. If you're looking, but this is something that you're doing in addition, if you like. So for the languages that you can learn at the University of Glasgow, you really have to look at the information in Glasgow and DCU. You can look at our language school, the kind of offerings that are being offered there, and that will give you an idea. But in principle, there's really quite a lot of languages that you might be able to learn. So I think I have one more question. Okay, I think that'll probably be the last question before I have to hand over to Katrina. Will programming be studied as part of the cybersecurity courses? No, this is not a computing course as such. So it wouldn't be something about programming, but it'll be about the social science aspect of cybersecurity. So it'll be about the regulation, for instance. It'll be about the threats, the vulnerabilities, how to, in a sense, counter cybersecurity threats and so on. But it won't be about the computer science aspect of the module in itself. So it'll be about the social science dimension of it. Okay, so I'll probably leave it at that, and then I'll hand over, unless there's one final question, but I think I've hopefully answered all of your questions. I hope that you find the course interesting, and I'll hand over to our wonderful Katrina. So thank you very much, and I'll stop streaming now.